Dear friends, brothers and sisters on the path, there is a saying in the Shaolin tradition, before conquering the world, conquer yourself. And today I want to speak about that conquest, not of others, but of our own inner enemies. These enemies cannot be seen, they cannot be touched, but they are the most dangerous ones because they live inside of us. If we do not become aware of them, they rule us. If we do not face that, they defeat us. Let me share with you 4 key ways grounded in Shaolin wisdom to overcome these inner enemies. Let us begin with the first and most essential step on the path of self-mastery, the step of awareness. In the Shaolin tradition, this is where all transformation begins. Nothing can change until it is seen. Nothing can be defeated until it is faced, and nothing can be understood while you are trapped within it. That is why awareness is not just a tool, it is the light in the darkness, the mirror that shows us our own reflection. Many people wake up each day and step into their lives like actors who never read the script. They react, they chase, they run, they fear, but they do not stop to ask why. Why do I feel this way? Why do I act like this? Why do I keep repeating the same mistakes? The truth is, they are not truly living. They are simply being pulled by invisible strings of thoughts, emotions, habits, and patterns. This is the prison of unconscious living. In Shaolin philosophy, awareness is the practice of waking up inside your own mind. It is the discipline of becoming the observer, not the actor, not the character, but the one who watches. Imagine a mountain, still and silent, watching the clouds pass. That is awareness. Thoughts come and go, emotions rise and fall, but the mountain remains steady. This is what we must become, a steady presence that does not drown in the storm, but watches the waves with clarity. To develop this inner awareness, we begin with the breath. The breath is always present. It does not lie, it does not pretend. When you observe your breath, you are brought back to this moment, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now. And in this now, there is no fear, no shame, no regret, only observation, only presence. When anger arises, we usually say, I am angry. But this is already a mistake. You have already become the anger. You have lost the awareness. In Shaolin training, we are taught to say instead, anger is arising. This is very different. When you say, I am angry, you are inside the storm. But when you say, anger is arising, you are standing outside watching it pass. This is the power of awareness. It creates space between you and your emotions, between you and your habits. In that space, you find freedom. And this awareness must extend beyond the cushion. Meditation is not something we do for 10 minutes a day and then forget. It must become the way we live. Walking, we watch our steps. Eating, we taste each bite. Speaking, we listen to our own words. In every moment, we train to remain present to our inner world. And when we do, we begin to notice the subtle enemies that live inside. One of those enemies is distraction. The mind that cannot stay still is a mind that cannot see. Every notification, every noise, every mental story is a weapon of distraction, and when you are distracted, you are vulnerable. Another inner enemy is judgment. The moment we say this is good, this is bad, we stop seeing clearly. We put labels on things and forget to see them as they are. Awareness does not judge. It observes, it understands. In the early stages, awareness feels like effort. You must remind yourself again and again, return to the breath, return to the body, return to this moment. But with time, awareness becomes your natural state. It becomes like water always flowing around the rocks of life without getting stuck. You will still feel anger, but it will not control you. You will still feel fear, but it will not freeze you. You will still face difficulty, but you will not react blindly. This is why we say, awareness is the foundation of all discipline. Before we can train the body, we must see the mind. Before we can choose our actions, we must witness our impulses. Without awareness, all effort is like trying to hold water in your hands. But with awareness, every effort becomes focused, every practice becomes meaningful. And this awareness is also what allows us to begin letting go. You cannot release what you cannot see. If you are not aware of your ego, you will keep feeding it. If you are not aware of your fear, you will keep running from it. Awareness is the doorway to letting go, because it shows us what we are carrying and whether it still serves us. Purpose too becomes clear through awareness. When the mind is noisy and cluttered, you cannot hear the quiet voice of your own purpose. But when the mind is still, like a calm lake, it reflects the truth. Awareness allows us to ask, what am I really here for? What do I truly value? What am I willing to give my life to? And those answers do not come from books or others. They come from silence, from stillness, from looking deeply within. So the first inner enemy we must overcome is not fear or doubt, it is blindness. It is the state of you are moving through life without seeing, without questioning, without presence. Once you open your inner eyes, everything begins to shift. Not because the world changes, but because your way of seeing it changes. And in that shift lies your power, your peace, your potential. Walk forward with awareness, and each step becomes steady. Each moment becomes meaningful. Each breath becomes sacred. The journey begins here and now, with eyes open and heart calm, ready. Once you begin to see clearly through awareness, the next step on the path is discipline. Awareness shows you the patterns, but discipline gives you the strength to change them. It is easy to see where you go wrong, but it is difficult to walk a different way. That is where discipline comes in. Without discipline, there is no transformation. Without discipline, the same thoughts keep coming, the same habits keep repeating, the same inner enemies keep winning. In Shaolin life, discipline is not something you do, it is something you become. It is not about controlling the outside world, it is about mastering your inner world. And this mastery is not about force or punishment, it is about repetition and intention. A disciplined mind is not a mind without thought, it is a mind that can return again and again to what matters. Most people believe discipline is harsh, they see it as restriction or sacrifice, but in truth, discipline is a form of love. It is the love for who you are becoming, it is the love for your higher self. When you are disciplined, you do not give in to every desire or distraction, not because you are being punished, but because you are being shaped. Each time you choose discipline, you are choosing freedom. Discipline in Shaolin begins with the body. We rise early, we train even when tired. We move with purpose, but this is only the surface. True discipline is in the mind. It is in the moment when you want to quit and you stay. It is in the moment when doubt arises and you continue. It is in the silence when the excuses come and you do not believe them. That is where discipline lives. When you begin to cultivate discipline, you will meet your inner enemies face to face. Laziness will whisper, rest. Fear will whisper, hide. Doubt will whisper, you are not enough. But you do not listen. You return to the practice. You return to the breath. You return to your path. That return is discipline. And it is not about being perfect. No one walks the path without falling. Discipline is not never falling. It is standing up one more time than you fall. It is continuing even when no one sees. Even when it feels hard. Even when it is not easy. Discipline is the invisible thread that connects intention to action and action to transformation. In our daily lives, discipline can take many forms. It is rising with the sun to train the body. It is sitting in silence when the mind wants noise. It is choosing what nourishes you over what entertains you. It is speaking with honesty even when silence would be easier. It is keeping promises you make to yourself, even the small ones. These acts may seem simple, but they build the foundation of an unshakable character. Discipline also means protecting your focus. Attention is the most valuable energy you have. Where your attention goes, your life follows. The world is full of distractions and each one pulls you away from your purpose. Discipline is the decision to return your attention to what matters again and again, no matter how many times you are pulled away. You must also understand that discipline is not always loud. It is not always seen by others. Sometimes it is quiet, like the choice to let go of a thought, or the choice to speak with kindness, or the choice to take one more step when your mind says, stop. These quiet choices shape who you are more than any grand action. With awareness, you begin to see your patterns. With discipline, you break them. You may notice the habit of anger, but it is discipline that pauses before reacting. You may notice the urge to complain, but it is discipline that chooses gratitude. You may notice fear rising, but it is discipline that keeps you moving forward. Awareness gives you vision, discipline gives you motion, and as you continue to train discipline, it becomes easier. The body becomes stronger, the mind becomes steadier, the emotions become clearer. What once felt like effort becomes your nature. What once was difficult becomes your normal. This is how transformation happens, not all at once, but slowly, through small consistent acts repeated with intention. This discipline is also what allows you to let go. You cannot let go of anger if you are not strong enough to resist it. You cannot release your ego if you are not grounded in your values. Letting go requires discipline because it often feels uncomfortable. The familiar patterns feel safe, even if they cause suffering. Discipline is the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you, even when it feels hard. Purpose, too, is fed by discipline. It is not enough to know your purpose, you must live it. Discipline is what bridges knowing and doing. It is what takes your vision and makes it real. Without discipline, purpose remains an idea. With discipline, it becomes a life. The path of overcoming inner enemies is not a path of force or aggression. It is a path of steady effort, of choosing again and again to return to what matters, of rising each day with a clear mind and a strong will, of meeting your own resistance and walking through it. This is the warrior's way, not of fighting the world, but of mastering yourself. Letting go is one of the most misunderstood aspects of the inner path. Many believe it means weakness or giving up, but in truth, it is one of the deepest expressions of strength. In Shaolin philosophy, letting go does not mean to lose or to run away. It means to release what no longer serves your growth. It means to stop carrying burdens that weigh down the spirit and cloud the mind. It is not about having nothing. It is about not being possessed by anything. Letting go is freedom, and freedom is power. We all carry many things inside that we do not need. We carry old pain, old anger, old stories. We carry fear about the future and shame from the past. These become the enemies inside us. They whisper in moments of silence and guide our actions when we are unaware. We begin to live through these inner voices instead of living from our true self. Letting go begins when we decide we no longer want to be ruled by what was. When we say, I will not be defined by this, I will not hold what keeps me heavy. Letting go cannot be forced. It cannot be rushed. It happens when the mind is quiet and the heart is ready. It happens through awareness and discipline. First, you see what you are holding. Then you strengthen yourself to face it, and only then can you begin to release it. This is why letting go is not a single moment. It is a process. And like all things in the Shaolin path, it requires practice. One of the greatest obstacles to letting go is attachment. Attachment is the belief that we need something in order to be whole. It might be an identity, a belief, a memory, or even a desire, but everything we attach to holds a part of our energy, and if we are attached to something that is not in alignment with our path, it creates suffering. The more we hold on, the less space we have for peace. That is why we say, the hand that holds on cannot receive. To receive wisdom, peace, freedom, we must first release what blocks the way. This does not mean we stop caring. It means we stop clinging. It does not mean we forget. It means we no longer carry the weight. Imagine walking through life with a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone is a past hurt or fear or regret. With each step the weight increases, the path becomes harder, and we wonder why we feel tired. Letting go is the act of opening the bag and removing the stones one by one. It is not always easy, but with each stone removed, the walk becomes lighter, the path becomes clearer. In daily life, letting go shows itself in simple ways. It is the moment you forgive, even when you were never given an apology. It is the moment you choose silence instead of proving you are right. It is the moment you release the need to control outcomes and accept what is. It is not passive, it is deeply active. Letting go means choosing peace over pride, clarity over confusion, truth over ego. And letting go also includes the self-image we build. Many of us hold on to a story about who we are. We say, I am this, I am not. Not, I cannot change, I have always been this way. But that story is just a memory repeated, it is not your essence. To grow, you must let go of who you think you are and step into who you truly are. This is a difficult step because it means entering the unknown, but the unknown is where all transformation begins. Letting go also requires us to face fear directly. Fear is often the chain that keeps us attached. Fear of being alone, fear of failing, fear of not being enough. These fears are not based in reality, they are based in the stories we repeat. To let go, we must walk through fear, not around it. We must look it in the eye and say, you will not control me. And the moment we do that, the fear begins to lose its power. The practice of letting go can be supported by breath, by movement, by stillness. In Shaolin training, we move the body to release tension, we breathe to release emotion, we sit in silence to release thought. Each practice is a way of loosening the grip of the inner enemies. And over time, letting go becomes a natural way of being. We become less reactive, more grounded, less attached, more open. And when you begin to let go, you create space inside yourself, space for joy, for compassion, for insight. The mind becomes clearer, the heart becomes lighter. You stop fighting with what is and begin flowing with it. This does not mean you stop acting. It means your actions come from a place of calm, not chaos, from presence, not pain. Letting go is not the end of effort, it is the beginning of deeper effort, because now your actions are guided by wisdom, not wounds. You do not waste energy holding what harms you. You use your energy to build what heals and strengthens you. This is the way of Shaolin, not to resist life, but to meet it with open hands and an open heart. You may wonder, how will I know if I have truly let go? The answer is simple. When you can think of the person, the moment, the memory, and feel peace, not pain. When you can look at what once hurt you and no longer feel the need to react. When you can release the story and return to the present, fully aware and alive. The path of overcoming inner enemies must include letting go, because holding on is how they survive. That releasing is how they dissolve. When you see clearly, when you act with discipline, and when you let go of what no longer serves you, you begin to walk freedom and grace, no longer pulled by the past or trapped by fear. Purpose is the direction that gives meaning to awareness, discipline, and letting go. Without purpose, all the effort becomes scattered, and all the energy flows without aim. A river without a course spreads wide and shallow, but a river with purpose cuts through stone. The same is true for your life. Purpose gives you focus and clarity. It helps you choose where to place your attention and what to let go. Without it, even the most disciplined person can become lost, and even the most aware mind can drift. In Shaolin philosophy, purpose is not something you borrow from others. It is not something you copy from a book or a quote. It is something you discover by going inward and listening to your deepest self, the self that is not shaped by fear or desire or pressure, but the self that simply is. Purpose is the quiet voice inside that remains when everything else fades, and to hear it you need silence, not noise, stillness, not rush, space, not pressure. Many people ask, what is my purpose, as if it is something that must be found far away, but purpose is not far. It is already inside you. The problem is not its absence, but the presence of too many distractions, too many influences, too many thoughts that cover it. Like a clear pond that has been stirred with a stick, you cannot see your reflection until it settles. So you must create the conditions for your purpose to reveal itself. Through awareness, you calm the mind. Through discipline, you train the body. Through letting go, you create space, and into that space, purpose begins to appear. Purpose is not always something grand. It is not always about changing the world or achieving fame. In Shaolin, we do not seek greatness, we seek sincerity. Purpose can be as simple as living with compassion, or bringing presence into each moment, or helping others through your own inner clarity. What matters is not how big your purpose looks, but how true it feels. You will know it is true because it does not need to be forced. It feels like a deep breath. It feels like coming home. Once you begin to connect with this purpose, it becomes your inner compass. It helps you say yes to what matters and no to what distracts. It helps you remain steady when life becomes difficult. Because when you know why you walk, you do not stop every time a stone appears in your path. When you have purpose, you can endure discomfort and even pain because you are not walking without reason. You are walking with heart. This purpose is also what gives strength to discipline. Discipline without purpose can become rigid or empty, but when discipline is aligned with purpose, it becomes joyful. You rise early not because you must, but because it supports your deeper aim. You train your body and mind not for praise, but because it allows you to serve your purpose with more power. Purpose transforms discipline from duty into devotion.